Good evening, Shabbos, everyone. Shabbos, Parshas Shmini, Mevorchim, the Iyar, the Shabbos following the Mashiach Suda, following Pesach. The Rebbe would always carry the Fabring and the Shabbos Mevorchim Iyar from the Mashiach Suda with the energy of Mashiach, continuing in the topics. The Rebbe even Fabring danced one year, the Mashiach dance and Shabbos Mevorchim. So just an amazing actually word from today's Yom Yom. Today's Yom Yom, meaning the Hayom Yom following Achron Shel Pesach, Isra Chag and Chutz La'aretz, and the day after Isra Chag in Eretz Yisrael, is that Rebbe writes that while Pesach is the idea of dilug, we jump, we go to a situation from restraint from Mitzrayim, we jump to Cherus. How does a person go from being in a place of Meitzar, in a place of restraint, constraint, all the limitations, in our mind, in our hearts, in our life, to a situation of Pesach, to Cherus, to freedom, is the idea of Pesach. We're dilig, we jump out from point A to point B. And then on the final day of Pesach, we celebrate Mashiach. And the Rebbe says the Mashiach that to every person is a whole nother thing. Because when you go to Cherus, and you're in the 7 days of celebrating the freedom that we have of Pesach, comes the day after Pesach, and then we go back into the world. And when we come back to the world, the true sign of Mashiach in a person's day-to-day life is the ability to go back into the world after Pesach, after the preparations, the whole month. There are the 12 days of the Nesiim, and we're coming following the dedication of the Mishkan and Purim. There's so much energy, and all of a sudden we finish Pesach, and it could be, a person could be in a situation of as if it's like an exhaust, a down, and let down. And the true sign of a person's integrating the idea of Mashiach in their day-to-day life is to be able to stand strong when you go back into the world. Very similar to Sukkot. We say after Sukkot, the Rebbe always brings that the whole idea of Sukkot is that after Sukkot and after Tishrei and after Elul, we say V'Yaakov halach darka, Yaakov goes on his way. But the difference between the avodah of Tishrei and the avodah of Nisan, the avodah of Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur and the avodah of Pesach, is that Rosh Hashanah and Kippur Tishrei is a month of Tov Shin Reish. We start the Aleph base backwards. We start from the last letter and we go to the higher letter and the higher letter, which is the avodah of Shuvah, of return. And so in the person's avodah of Shuvah, taking out furthering and continuing in the avodah of Shuvah, and what we achieve through Shuvah is Yaakov halach darka. Yaakov goes on his way and takes that energy of Shuvah to apply to the world. Pesach's the opposite. Pesach is milmayla lamata. Nigla le melch ma'achan amlachim kadosh baruch hu. God reveals himself from above. Like we said, Pesach is dilug, jumping to freedom. So similarly, when we finish Pesach, instead of it's not so much the focus of the avodah of tshuva that continues, of Yaakov goes in his way, but we take the cherus, and true cherus is Mashiach, and we stand with a toikif. We stand with a toikif that we're going, even while we're going possibly back a few more days to the world until Mashiach comes, a few more hours to the world, till Mashiach actually reveals himself. But Mashiach, how he reveals himself in our individual self, in our individual life, is that we have a toikif, a strength of the cherus, of the freedom, that when we go to the world, we have the kind of above down. Like we're counting the Omer, we start with the midah of Chesed and work our way down to the midah of Malchus, to the attribute of Malchus, which is the lowest one. We start from the highest midah, the highest attribute, to go down to the lowest one. So I want to wish everyone that Shabbos Mevorchim Iyar, which is Ani Hashem Refecha, and all the ideas of Iyar, and all that Iyar includes, and taking the energy of Pesach and the Mashiach Suda that we celebrated this week. It's a few days before Shabbos, that we have the toikif, the strength and the power, and we go out to the world, we're going to be able to get it done. Like the Rebbe says in this famous Sikha of Chavches Nisan, that he has to find a few people that are going to be action, Am Kshei Orev, V'Salachta, that we're going to achieve to stubbornly bring Mashiach, and may it happen, speed in our time, still in the month of Nisan, Asidin Legal, that we should actually experience the Gula in this month of Nisan, this year, Taf Shin Pei Gimel. Wishing everyone good Shabbos and a good Chai.